Over the past 6 months, I have collected few thoughts, reminders, and random quotes that completely changed the way I looked at stuffs in my life, okay? Nothing groundbreaking, but some things there. Just 6 ideas that stayed with me when life got messy. So I thought it was useful for me, and here I am sharing with you guys. Who is your good friend now? Me? You? Me? If you're just doing your laundry, folding your clothes, organizing your stuffs, or just need something to hear, come hang out with me. இது என் காதுல வந்துன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா என் ஃபோனில் கனெக்ட் ஆயிருக்கு, வாய்ஸ் அப்போ தான் கேட்கும். அதனால ஆறு மாதம் தாண்டினாலும் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் எனக்கு கிடைச்சிருந்தாலும் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் நான் தொலைச்சிருக்கேன். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் மை vlogging phone, my mic. I don't want to say the huge word as lost it, ஏன்னா மனசு உடச்சு போயிடும். அதனால I choose to use the word misplaced. Okay, so it's not right now where I kept it, but I'll definitely find it and let you guys know. But yeah, இது எனக்கு காதுல வந்துன்னு சொல்லி யாராவது கேட்டிங்கன்னா அதுக்கு தான் அது பதில். Let's quickly move on to the video. You know what's funny about the first half of 2026? Like on paper it might look like 6 months, but emotionally it felt like 6 different lifetimes. There were days where I thought that I have figured out everything. Like there's nothing that I've missed. And then the other day I was sitting on the ground and rethinking every single decision, every single thought that popped into my head, wondering what exactly God is trying to teach me, because I am being super clueless. I might not be the strongest soldier that God actually dictates. I realized that, like in a hard way, but I realized that. You know what I realized? We people spend so much time trying to avoid storms. We pray against them, we complain about them, and we just wish that it will just pass away. And I understand why. Storms are very uncomfortable. They ruin our plans. Like they disturb every single plan that we have for ourselves. It's loud and it just leaves us in a place where we do not even think through. But maybe, have you ever guys thought that நம்ம எதிர்பார்க்குற storm நமக்கு against ஆனது கிடையாதுன்னு எங்கேயாவது யோசிச்சிருக்கீங்களா? It's not the villain that we make it to be, you know. Because I came across this sentence and kind of changed my perspective on how I look into all these difficult seasons of my life. Okay, and it goes something like, every storm has 2 purposes: to destroy what isn't solid and to reveal what is. புரியுதா நான் என்ன சொல்ல வரேன்னு புரியுதா? When you think about it, storm in one or the other point actually exposes certain things that would not be readily available for us to see through our bare eye. ஏதாவது ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம் வாழ்க்கையில் நடக்கும்போது நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு புயல் வந்த மாதிரி இருக்கு என் வாழ்க்கை அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம்ல. I'm trying to bring you guys through that point of view. Okay. Sometimes life shakes us not to break us, but to show us on what we are actually building our lives on. Is our foundation strong? We all think we are all strong and we are doing very, very fine with our life. And let's be honest, it's very easy to, look life in a very positive way when all your prayers are getting answered. It's easy to be patient when life goes according to your plan. It is easy to be grateful when everything that you wishes just happens. But the storm asks a different question. What happens when the answer is no? What happens when your prayers are not answered? What happens when your plans don't go accordingly? And what happens when the people you expected to stay leave? What happens when life doesn't clap for your efforts that you have been putting day and night? Storm doesn't create your foundation. It checks it and reveals. And maybe that's why some season feels so painful. நம்ம இவ்வளவு நாள் மூடி வைக்கணும்னு நினைச்ச விஷயங்கள்லாம் இல்லைன்னு நம்ம நினைச்சிட்டு இருந்த நிறைய விஷயங்கள்லாம் மேலே வரும்போது obviously it's not easy to take it, right? And all those cracks starts to appear that you never knew existed. Yeah. The beautiful thing is, once you know where the cracks are, you finally know where to rebuild it. Next up, also a lot of thoughts on growing up did come into my brain. And when we are younger, சின்ன வயசா இருக்கும்போது நம்ம மோஸ்டா எப்படி நம்மளோட டைமை எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னா, எனக்கு இது ஏன் பிடிக்குது அப்படின்னா, because of my parents, because of my teacher, because of my childhood, because of my friends. And don't get me wrong, our upbringing matters. It matters a lot. Because it shapes us, okay? It teaches us what is love or fear, confidence or insecurities. It becomes a language that we first start to understand, honestly. But growing up is realizing that at some point, it stops being about how you were raised, okay? And it starts being more about how you decide to live. And that's probably one of the hardest truths that we have to get through it. And get in the mindset to realize that, because responsibilities are heavy. I remember very well when my friends like va inge pola anga pola, the first person I run to is my parents. I'm like இப்படி கூப்பிடுறாங்க போவா. My parents say don't go. Then I go tell to my friends like எங்க அப்பா அம்மா வீட்ல, like the responsibility is not on me. I shift it, I blame it on my parents. And the same times when my parents say okay போயிட்டு வா, I go, and then if something goes wrong I again come to my parents like நீ தானே எப்போ சொன்னீங்க. You see, the responsibility doesn't lie on us, but right now once you start growing up you have to take responsibility for every single thing that you do. 10th la nee in the group edutha, you need to take responsibility. In the college choose panna, you need to take this responsibility. Why are you not getting a job? You need to take responsibility for your career. It is always easier to point backward than forward. Na ipdi irundha adanal da ipdi, you give explanations, you give excuses sometimes, pointing out your past. It's easier to explain our habits. Na ipdi da irukren ivla naal than to change it. Innalla maara mudiyadhu. But eventually life hands you the pen and you become the author of your life. You get to decide whether you're going to continue the cycle or break them. Whether you will choose bitterness or forgiveness. Whether you will become everything you have experienced or something entirely new. And honestly, that's terrifying too. Buddy, we are on a ride. But it is one of the greatest gift that God has given you, and that is choice. Every single just choice. I was listening to this one podcast and they were talking about how you need to choose your heart. Like your old routine, it makes you comfortable. Changing those comfortable routine is hard. Finding out a new routine and trying to be a better self, fixing on that a new routine is also hard. Now pick your heart. It's a choice. So yeah, that's the greatest gift of humanity, I guess. One thing that adulthood has taught me is that waiting is a lot harder than working for something. I can work, I can prepare, I can stay busy. But waiting, question mark, waiting is exactly where your heart gets tested. Because waiting has this magical power of making it seem like things that are okay, on average, look like the right thing for you. When you're tired enough, compromises start sounding reasonable. Maybe this is close. Maybe this is what God wants me to do. Maybe I shouldn't ask for more. But I have learned something, and that is never to settle for anything outside what God's will is for me just because I am tired of waiting. Because exhaustion is such a terrible decision maker. Anything out of composure that you make is such a horrible decision, and waiting tests it all. நார்மல் நம்மளே பார்த்துக்கோங்களேன், ஒரு பஸ் பிடிக்க போறோம்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க, கையில் 5 பைசா இருக்காது. இப்போ நம்மளுக்கு தெரியும் இந்த காசு கொடுத்து நான் பஸ் ஏறிட்டேன் அப்படின்னா நான் இறங்கி போய் பண்ண வேண்டிய வேலைக்கு அந்த காசு இருக்காது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. But we have become so impatient as human beings that we are trying to give away that money, and then அங்கே போய் பிச்சைக்காரனா நிற்கிறதுல கூட we are happy. Okay, it goes with all the other rights that you take. Because waiting can no longer be a part of your life. It cannot be a part of my life. I don't want to wait. I'm praying today, God, you tell me the answer. I'm working through that. Okay, say this person to do this particular thing continuously, people are ready to do, but they just cannot wait for a minute. Just wait for a hot minute. Like it's a hot minute, because 1 minute, when you start waiting for that 1 minute it sounds as if you have to wait for 1 whole hour. Ivlo nara wait pannuma. Why can't you wait? I'm getting angry because recently I went to this one place, and then there's this another person with me. I'm spilling too much of
kadila dosa vara time aguma agada. So we need to wait. I am hell lot of hungry. Like I can devour anything at that point. I was also hungry, the other person was also hungry. Puri pasi enakku, but nee dosa venum kettu dosa vandruma varade. We do not live in Harry Potter world. Okay, we need to wait. anga kuda saapadu varudhu time agum guys. சரியா அப்படி இருக்கும்போது all of a sudden this person was like dosa இன்னும் வரல கல்லு சூடாகணும், மா ஊத்தணும், மொறு ஆகணும், எண்ணெய் ஊத்தணும், கீ ஊத்தணும்.
Some tension I give time. Okay, wow. So basically, if you do not wait, you would not get the perfect dosa. Adhe madri, if you cannot wait in God and know what His will is for you, how are we going to live our life? Like seriously, we need to keep ourselves in check. Okay, we just cannot wait for the life of us, and we really need to think through it. I really thought through this, and I was ashamed of myself because the same person, I was also in the same position. We all have troubles waiting. That is what I'm trying to say. But at least it's time for us to realize that there are certain points where we need to wait in the Lord, wait in the situation that we are in, go through it so that we know finally how to come out. Imagine receiving everything that you prayed for, even before you had the character to sustain it. Just imagine that. Okay, you get it? Would it still be a blessing or would it be a curse? Maybe delays aren't rejection. It's mercy, but in disguise. Okay, now there are other things that keep challenging my thoughts. And if I'm honest, it stings a little, so take your time. Okay, நான் சொல்ல போகிறது வந்து கொஞ்சம் லைட்டாக மன வருத்தமாக இருக்கும். Prepare yourself. நான் சொன்னதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன இப்படி பார்த்து இப்படி சொல்லிட்டேன்னு சொல்லக்கூடாது. Okay, so prepare your mind. Close your eyes for a minute. You ready? Okay. Maybe your garden is not growing because every single time a flower blooms in your garden, you cut it to prove to someone that you are a gardener. I'll leave you guys with your thoughts for a while, okay? How often do we feel the need to prove ourselves? We post the progress even before processing it. We announce dreams even before they take root. We rush to show people that we are growing instead of actually growing. It's literally like planting a seed and every single morning you're digging up and checking if the seed is grown or not. Like you take the seed out of soil and like, innu valarla. But growth doesn't happen that way. Roots need darkness. Seed needs time and silence is the part of process. And maybe not everything beautiful in your life will need to be seen immediately. Some things just need to be between you and God, between you and your parents, or just within yourself. Some victories don't need applause. And let me be honest, some dreams are safer in private until you're strong enough to survive public opinion. So basically, not everything needs an audience. You just need to grow silently. And that is the healthiest way possible. Which brings me to tie all these lessons together. Okay? Everything starts in your mind. And eventually everything ends there too. Before you speak the word, they exist as thoughts. Before you chase a dream, your mind gives you permission. Before fear actually stops you, your mind writes hundreds of imagination stories with script dialogues and stunts. Our minds are fascinating. No doubts in that. But they also create prisons. Think about how many things you survived that your mind once convinced you that you're going to be destroyed by. How many nights have you stayed awake worrying about something that eventually worked itself out? How many conversations have you rehearsed that has never happened? How many opportunities you have talked yourself out of just because your brain told you that you cannot or you're not capable of? Our mind is powerful, but it's also trainable. If that's something that I learned in my 3 years of psychology while getting my bachelor's degree, that's fun. Yeah. Guys, my graduation vlog is coming next, so do subscribe so that you get to know that notification, okay? Coming back to the point. You don't have to believe every thought you think. Not every thought deserves a seat at your table. And sometimes this is why I kind of do not see eye to eye with the manifestation, because sometimes people say the most bizarre thing in the name of manifestation and they piss me off really well. That's a different thing. Some thoughts deserve to be questioned. Your delusion needs to be checked. Some deserve to be challenged, whereas some needs to be replaced. For real. Because the stories that you keep telling yourself, right, they eventually become the life that you start living. So now tell me, what kind of life do you want? And it's fascinating because you need to bring your mind out of it by your own thought process and mindset up. So yeah, let's work on that together, shall we? We got 6 more months for that. Okay, we are almost on the end of the video, guys. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in till here. I hope it was kind of entertaining. Until one point, I used to measure my life very differently, okay? And I used to measure every single. Was this successful? Was this productive? Was it worth it? L'Oreal Paris. Okay. I'm starting to wonder when the summer season will get over. But now I am trying to ask a different kind of question. Have I experienced it all to the fullest? Because honestly, everything is a win if your goal is to experience. Purida? Think about it, okay? If your goal is to only success, then failure feels heartbreak. If your goal is just perfection, then every single mistake or every single flaw that you see seems like the biggest embarrassment of your life. But if your goal is to experience, then you're losing nothing. The awkward conversation sometimes that you pull out builds your confidence. The wrong turn that you eventually do teaches you about direction. Heartbreak teaches you compassion. Waiting teaches you patience. Uncertainty teaches you trust. Even the ordinary days, grocery shopping, going to the gym, laundry, cleaning, all these things become part of your story. Literally, we are always chasing the highlight reel. We always keep rushing towards it. We always keep chasing that. But who knows, life is all about your random twists. Maybe joy isn't hidden in the things that you're going to achieve in the next 5 years, but rather it is going to be that one cup of tea that you're going to sit down in your house and share with your friends and family. And also realizing that you're becoming someone that your younger self would look up and admire. And not because you have achieved everything, but because you kept going. This kind of made me think, because நம்ம எப்பவுமே வந்து எனக்கு என்ன அச்சீவ்மெண்ட் வந்திருக்கு, நான் என்ன சாதிச்சிருக்கேன், நான் என்ன பெருசா பண்ணியிருக்கேன்னு தான் யோசிப்போமே தவிர்த்து we never stop for a moment to think that, oh my god, I'm still going on. There were nights when I thought this is not where I'll stand. There were thoughts that told me that I would not sustain for a long period of time in this particular situation. But look at me, look at you, we're doing well, guys. See, that is what the win is. So yeah, if there is anything that I want you guys to take into the second half of 2026, let it be all these things, because I want you guys to know that experiencing this life, the beautiful, messy, ordinary, unpredictable life that God has given us, is already a gift. So here's to the next months where we try to become the better person with a better mindset and with cherishing memories. So yeah, when the year finally comes to an end, I hope we don't just have list of achievements that we did this and that, but rather have stories of courage, stories of faith, stories of love, stories of growth, stories we will laugh about years from now. Because at the end of the day, I don't think meaningful life is measured by how impressive it looks. Rather, I think it is measured by how deeply we live. And I hope we live the next half of the year really, really well. So yeah, with lots of love, wishes and prayers. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, this is Sweety signing off. Bye!